What I watched before I went to sleep last night was a video from the YouTube channel Donut Media about explaining about all the s- sports cars being ditched in a desert in Dubai. That video is explaining that. I watched that video before I went to sleep, and when I went to sleep, there was a dream I remembered that I had. There was a dream that I remembered that I had when I went to sleep after I watched that video. I'm not sure if I watched any other videos. I think I might have watched some other videos either before or after that video before I went to sleep. But I know I at least watched some other videos in that day, which was yesterday. And today was the day I woke up remembering that dream I had. So the dream starts where I either get kidnapped and taken to a facility, or I'm just taken to a facility without any background of how I got there. And I am locked up there. I try to escape, and I eventually, well, it's a little like has some security, but I eventually actually manage to escape while there was a distraction. And when I went out, it looked like there were lots of people. When I went out of the locked up area, and I was at the actual area where it was outside of the locked up area where I was. There were a lot of people there, and it was like there were. I think there were actually in my dream there because it was a attraction of some sort, or well, that was what it seemed like. And I went down to the bottom floor as fast as I could, and I eventually took a, there was a van that pulled up in the front of the area where there were, like it's like there's a building area, and it's like if you were to get transported by a vehicle that's allowed to pull up right in front of the curb where you just walk up to the entrance, or it's right at the entrance, or yeah. But in this case, in my dream, it was actually it was a actual curved area that of driveway, and right in front of a actual, like, before you get to the road, like area where the van was, like there was sidewalk. There's some sidewalk. Not it was, but there was some sidewalk on the ground, and then there's sidewalk steps and railing. It was uh, actually the how you would get down to the lower part of the pavement. And I eventually, I mean, when I got down, I just went, like, well, I went, well, and like when I said eventually, like when I got down, I actually did eventually chose to get in the van. I was sorry, I was trying to correct myself while trying to make myself seem like I'm not like repeating the words. to make it seem like I'm just saying the same word after word. Um, but maybe if that doesn't make sense, then actually I was just trying an alternative for actually saying I did not meant to actually repeat myself. So sorry about that. And just that actual correcting, I mentioned that not as part of my dream, but it was just about me telling the story. So back to the dream, and just not talking about correcting myself for saying the story in general. Okay, so in my dream, when I went down the cement steps and I chose to get in the van. I got. I was in the van. I was riding in the van, and eventually I got dropped off in a neighborhood area. I walked, and not sure if this is why I why I there was a church by. I went inside the church, but I remember there's a movie called Home Alone, and there's a character called Kevin McAllister, and my first name is Kevin, but instead of McAllister, I would go by Kevin Lee Walker. Yeah, so in the dream I walked through a neighborhood, and then just a couple houses I passed, and I eventually went inside of a church, and I was there, and I'm not sure, but I might have saw like someone who was going to be a person mentioned later in my dream, or whatever. I don't really, whoever person was or group of people. I don't really know, because I didn't really dream the visual. I just dream, or I don't remember the visual because it was the idea. So basically, the I eventually just went to a couple of houses. I was walking. I'm not went, but I was walking, but I just eventually knocked at one door of a house, and eventually just I think I actually just eventually just chose to just go to a different house, and then knocked there, and then just eventually I like was saw someone there, and apparently I it might have been the same people from the actual church in my dream, or just might have been actually different people. By people, I mean whoever was the family or whatever it was. So basically, I ended up getting readopted. I lost all of my possessions because I had only possessions supplied by the readopted family. Because I had been adopted before, but in my dream I was readopted, and 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 so in that dream, I did talk about my YouTube channel, and I also had said, even though it seemed obvious, I said, "Where's my steering wheel and pedals?" Or maybe might have said, "Where's my steering wheel and pedals cockpit?" Instead of that first option I mentioned, and basically, I had mentioned about my YouTube channel, but actually, it was like a weird actual. It's like a nightmare and the most unusual, not as much of a life. It's like a nightmare in the most unusual and not all the way bad way you can expect. So basically, I kind of, yeah, I lost everything and just left to have. I was just had a readopted family, but I didn't remember. I eventually said my birth date, like because had a different. They thought they I was mentioned as. I mean, I was labelly classified with a different birth date, but I like said like was actually born in November 20th, 2002. Like 2002 is the year, 20th is the day, and November is the month. But actually, in the dream, like I had said that, but like apparently was labeled with a different birth date. But I didn't really got the idea of what the birth date was or remember what it was. And in that dream, basically had lost my way of life in a way that forced me to be left with only different people to rely on as family. Adopted was family relationships, and that was my dream I had last night. But I'm going to try to remember some other stuff in my dream. I I think I might have. Oh yeah, I think. Wait. I have an add-on. I think I might have actually maybe like got reclassified my information in order so I was safe, so I wouldn't get captured again or something like that. I think that was why I was actually like actually got away, but like but, I did only secretly shared some of that information with the new adopted family, but apparently like that was really weird of a dream. Now I think that's where my dream at, and that wait. I'm trying to think of one if there's anything else in my dream. Well, I don't think there's anything else going in my video right now. That was I think that's my whole. That was my. I think that it was my whole dream from last night.